That looks good, I think. Evening all, I think we've got it live. Let's see, nothing's blown up, so that's always a good sign. If we're coming through the other end, give us a thumbs up under the video, type something in the comment, and then I know everything's working as it should be. Nothing's gone bang. I hope to have put all the wires in the right place. Evening Richard, evening David. Hope you're all well. Yes, I've had a busy day. My nephew and niece's delayed birthday bash at Tenpin Bowling Centre, where health and safety gone completely mad. They wouldn't make my, what is it, this is complicated. So my brother-in-law's brother's little boy, who's 3, I think. I lose track of time with lockdown lark. 3, I think it's 3 or 4. They were going around seeing what balloon models the kids wanted. He wanted a sword. Oh no, they couldn't make a balloon sword because health and safety. So I made him a balloon sword. Then I made all the other kids a balloon sword as well, just to piss off the management. So yes, I've been balloon modelling. Who knew I was a balloon modeller? Not me. Interesting thing is, when they finish bowling though, they can't have a balloon sword because that might incite violence. When they finish bowling, it comes up on all the screens on the bowling lanes. Oh, now go and play in the arcade. And the arcade's full of great big video machines to shoot zombies and aliens and whatever the hell these other video games are. So that's fine. You can go and play video games when you're 4 with big guns on them and shoot aliens and zombies and have blood splattering all over the place. But you can't have a balloon sword because that's, you know, what can one say? What can one say? Anyway, that's enough of my ranting. Evening Simon, evening Peter. So all good stuff. So let's have a look, see what's finishing tonight. I've got a little video-y thingy I've stuck together about the DVD in a minute. Look, funny colour again tonight. I think my lights are on the way out. I need to get some new lights. Anyway, not to worry. Selling, here we are. So there's evening Peter. Where are we? 10 machines finishing tonight. A couple of signs. Some gold award mechs for some Seegers and a few coins and other bits and bobs. So if anyone's got any last minute questions on that lot, do let me know. The electromechanicals, as I said before, those 4 electromechanicals. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. Were all sort of restored a few years ago with the intention of being used in a vintage arcade, and it just never happened. So they've been sat in storage for a few years. So when they came here, sort of first plugged them in, and they sort of jittered and stuttered a bit and didn't really want to do much. Just because of the grease in most of them work on one motor and lots of bearings and springs, and as you probably know. So a little bit of a nudge and a little squirt of WD-40 they seem to be running. I think the payouts might not be quite right here and there, but there's probably something sticking or something. I can't see anything obviously missing. You can see the videos of them all running and playing and doing what they're supposed to do. But bear in mind, of course, being electromechanical stuff, being 240 volt, in any case we have to sell it as not working, health and safety again. And you know, so it's up to you to get them tested or not tested if you want to risk burning your house down, whatever. But just bear that in mind. As I say, you can see in the videos the condition, the inside and the out. They're all nice and dry. They haven't been in the damp or anything. Really nice cases on them. So yeah, they're quite interesting machines. A lot of interest in the Jupiter, unsurprisingly. A couple of people have asked me what I expected to make, and I really don't know, because I sold one many years ago, probably 30 years ago. I seem to think it's probably back at Huntingdon Racecourse when we were doing the auctions there. So it's going to be 25, 30 years ago. I honestly can't remember what it made. A few £100 at the time. I wouldn't be surprised if this one gets sort of toward 4 figures or even 4 figures, but it's only a gut feeling. It's a rare thing, it's a funky thing, very good condition, quite good fun to play, quite addictive actually. So who knows? But all I can say is stick your best offers in. It's here to go. So yeah, and best of luck. What else was I going to say? Oh, the Golden Bell. Yeah, the artwork on that, i.e. the mirror front, is new, extremely well done, whoever did it. I'm not sure how they've done it, 'cause it is behind the glass. It looks like it's printed on like a silver sign vinyl or something, because they're kind of the sort of the reds and the blues. I'll show you on the picture if I can get it to blow up. They're sort of like the blue background of the Power cars, and the red is that kind of see through to the silver. And what's actually quite effective on it is the silver, rather than being absolute mirror, it's slightly sort of textured, so you haven't got that total mirror, which makes it much easier to read the symbols, and slightly easier to photograph, funnily enough. Because trying to photograph mirrors, of course you can't photograph a mirror, you just photograph yourself all the time. But anyway, I'll put in the description there that the glass is new. Case is in nice condition. Did somebody ask me something else? What was it? No, it might be about something ending next week. I was asked another question, I can't remember. Anyway, as I say, anyone's got any questions, do let me know. Either stick it in the comments here or send a message via the website. I've got a few messages to go through when I finish this live stream tonight, and we'll go from there. So yes, I, as some of you know, went down to Paul Mitchell's last week, Thursday I think it was. I lose track of days. Just to have a look at a bit of a plan, read the DVD documentary thing we're going to make. Peter said the Golden Bell really did look very good in the flesh. Yeah, it does. Whoever done it made a very, very good job. Yes, so I sort of took some quick video clips of Paul's collection, just to kind of give you a flavour really of what's there, and what we're going to do. I've chopped that together into a quick little 2-minute thing. So if I click the right button, hopefully I can get that to play back from my computer out via YouTube, because I haven't actually uploaded it yet. I could do a little bit more editing to it really. It's a little bit rough. So I've had so little time between Thursday and now. I just finished it about 10 minutes ago and rendered it out. So it may even not play, but I'll click the button. It is black for like about 2 seconds at the start of it, so I don't think it's disappeared. But if it hasn't started playing in about 5 seconds, I'll be back. So bear with me. Let's see if we can get this to work. If I click this button here, fingers crossed. Let's see. So when I was a kid growing up in the 1970s, trip to the seaside was not about the beach so much for me. It was about going to the fairground and going to the amusement arcade. I'd go in the arcade with my little bag of pennies, play the machines, but more interestingly, always try and seek out the man with a big bunch of keys, follow him round, and look inside all the machines and see how they worked. And this here is the kind of stuff I used to love. So we're here in Paul Mitchell's incredible arcade. How many machines have you got here, Paul?
The last count was 33 pinball machines and the 66 slot machines.
99. Well, we need one more then in that case.
I need one more, yeah? I'll find some way to squeeze it, yeah.
So the idea is we're going to make a documentary about this amazing collection, but more than just looking at each machine, which is kind of a bit boring. We want to talk to Paul about all the years of collecting, some of the fun finding some of the machines, some of the trials and tribulations of fixing them,
all the fun.
And now there'll be a few more tales to tell. So we need your support for this. We need people to pre-order the DVD basically, because it's a time-consuming job to film, edit, put together. We're hoping it'll be done by Easter, that's the plan.
That's the plan, yeah. Big day here at Easter.
Hope we have a launch here so you can come down, collect your DVD, have a play in the arcade.
Barbecue as well.
Barbecue as well, they are. Come and get a hot sausage and have a play on the machines. So that sounds pretty good to me.
Yep, and me.
There you go. Did that work? Hopefully it worked. It looked like it worked from my end, but I haven't got a live feed coming back from YouTube. Only what I'm sending out. So I shall wait for somebody to stick a comment in to say that that worked or didn't work, or give it a one of them or something. Anyway, there we are. If it worked, we'll do it again later. Let's see, everyone's gone quiet. Yes, all. Marvellous. Thank you, Simon. That's good. Hooray, I've got something to work. Yeah, so there we are. David said, all look good to me. Good, good, good. Marvellous. So, yes, so hopefully I'll get to make a start at least on actual filming properly before Christmas, although days are rapidly disappearing. But that's the plan. I think sort of, Christmas, January. There'll probably be 2 or 3 days worth of filming there, and then several weeks worth of editing to put it all together nicely. A bit better than that little 2 minutes was edited, I hasten to add. And then get some, score on it and one thing and another. Put it all together. Then I have to get it mastered out for DVDs, Blu-rays, and get the graphics done for the cases and all that sort of jazz. So fingers crossed, we'll have it all done, completed, and ready, and out for Easter, whenever Easter is. I don't actually know what date Easter is. I think Paul said it was quite late, so that's handy. It gives us a few extra weeks. Have I got Easter on my calendar on here? No, I haven't. But anyway, that's what we're aiming for. Easter launch with a barbecue down at Paul's. And hopefully it'll be the first of many. Peter says, fantastic, put down for a copy. How much to help get this started? And 2 tickets for the barbecue launch. I haven't finalised it, but I think it will be £25 for the DVD or Blu-ray. There's not much difference in producing either or, so I'll probably just keep them the same price. There'll be several levels. I'm going to do it via Indiegogo, which is a website which raises or has raised hundreds of millions of pounds for arty projects. Lots of bands go on there if they're releasing an album, or filmmakers. I've used it for 2 or 3 films that I've done in the past, and all sorts of other projects go on there, books and magazines, comics, all sorts of things, cartoons, proper TV programs. So there'll be various levels of support depending what you fancy and what you can afford, frankly. So from the basic, just a DVD, to a DVD and come down to the barbecue launch, have a play in the arcade, pick your copy up, and then a few higher levels. What we usually do with films is, like, if you want a associate producer credit on the film, that also goes on IMDb and the like then, and your name in lights for evermore, as it were. If you're into that sort of thing and you want to show your support, then there'll be options for that as well. So there we are. It's and it's not a cheap thing to do, equipment wise, for a start, and time and everything else, petrol running backwards and forwards, all the cost of replication of the actual physical DVDs themselves, posting them out, so on and so forth. So it's probably a £5 project, I should think, something like that. So we're hoping to sell enough to cover it. because if I lose too much money on it, I shan't fancy doing any more. And there's lots of nice collections I would like to go and film. Lots of people who would like their collections filmed. And not just machines, hopefully in the future as well, we could perhaps do some fairground art collections and circus memorabilia collections and other interesting collections of all sorts of stuff up and down the land. So, yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed it'll all be good. Paul says, lost you for a couple of minutes there. Did you? Ah. What, the whole YouTube thing? Interesting. Am I still working my hand? Looks like it is. I haven't got a anything to show me. It says it's all right, my end. Might just been you then, Paul. Bum, 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 bum. Think about it, just been you, Paul. By looks of things. Peter says, how many collections do you think will be on the DVD? Paul touched the wrong buttons. Well, there you go. That's the sort of thing I do. This DVD, Peter, will be Paul's collection. There's 100 machines. Well, there was 99 when we went down the other day. He's bought another one since. So we've now got 100 machines to film. So that's good. And so, yeah, it'll be one per DVD, if you like. As I said in the past, I don't want to just do here's a pusher, it pushes coins. Here's another pusher, it pushes coins in a different direction. Here's another pusher, it pushes coins uphill, and this one does them downhill or whatever, because that to me is just boring. So we want to do with the collector their kind of their story, how they got into collecting, their experiences buying stuff, finding stuff, hunting stuff down, restoring stuff, things they wish they'd have bought, things they wish they hadn't sold, things they're still trying to find. All that kind of thing, and then kind of as that story unfolds, you look at each machine that fills in those bits of the story, if that makes sense. So, you know, you start off, I suppose, obviously with what was your first machine, as we're talking about machines. Oh, well, it was that one. Okay, well, let's go and have a look at that one. And then, you know, what's, I don't know, your favourite one, if you like, that one, all right, then we're going to talk about that one, and so on. So that will cover most of the machines, and then if there's any particularly interesting ones, we'll have a look at those. There might be things that, well, Paul's got some rare stuff, but, you know, that's worth having a look inside at the mechs. People like to see that sort of thing, how something works. So a real good mix of stuff, hopefully, and make a nice, interesting hour and a half or so you can get on a DVD. So that's sort of, you know, a proper full-length thing. Hence, it will take some time to film. I think Paul was surprised how long it took to even film 2 minutes worth of stuff. And like I was saying, if I'm out on working on a proper TV job, not that I work on camera, I work making props and building sets and stuff, as some of you know. But, you know, if we're on doing a sort of a feature film job, they film about a minute a day. TV, if it's sort of, you know, things like Father Brown and things I work on, that's sort of 3 minutes a day, something like that. So it's a slow job. But worth it, I think, because there's so many diverse collections. We should, you know, get a lot of stuff covered. And, you know, people's perspectives on things. So, yeah, that's the plan. But as I say, in the next, hopefully in the next week, I'll get full details up of that, and so you can get orders in and get the ball rolling. I want to do a little bit more tweak on that little video, which will perhaps show again in a bit if anyone has joined us late, and I'll upload that as well. And then you'll be able to stick your orders in, and hopefully we'll get enough to pay for it. So that's where we're at with that. Yes, new stuff. I haven't put anything new on the past couple of days because I've been busy. I did put up pictures on our Instagram of, just load up Instagram, 3 new machines, which will go on hopefully tomorrow or Tuesday. Tomorrow, hopefully. The Jubilee double jackpot, that is on sixpence, lights up, locks, keys, ready to go, etc. There is a Brian's 3-ball 9 cup, which is mint, or just about as it was new at the factory. 2 keys for each lock, all matching serial numbers stamped up and everything. That's on Old Penny. Very nice. And there is a Grand National, which again is on Old Penny, working. It's one of those, you know, you might want to do a sort of cosmetic, you know, strip it and revarnish it if you want to spangle it up a bit. Yeah, don't come up too often. So I'll get those at least photographed and listed tomorrow. I've got a busy day tomorrow. I've got to do some other paperwork stuff and company books and insurance, all sorts of boring junk tomorrow, chasing around on the phone. So I'll get as much as I can on tomorrow on those. So those 3 machines will be listed to end on the 19th of December. Then any more machines that come in from now on until sort of the new year, I'll then hold for a bit, and we'll start listing them to end on the 9th of January. So we'll miss out those 2 weeks for machines or anything else kind of expensive. Just because if people want to come and look at them, obviously it's Christmas, New Year, they've got better things to do than come over here, look at slot machines. And bizarrely, most people do tend to stick their offers in at the last minute. I don't know why, but that's just how it works. And obviously Boxing Day and 2nd January, people are going to be preoccupied, I suspect, with turkey sandwiches and hangovers and one thing and another. Which obviously is not very fair on the sellers who happen to put stuff in those weeks. Spares, things like spares, coins, some paperwork and stuff to go on, bits and bobs like that, I'll keep listing and they will finish whenever they finish. Because I think with a £10 spare, you either need it or you don't. And again, funnily enough, with spare parts, people tend to stick their offers in when they get listed or when they see them. As opposed to machines, they seem to put their offers on at the last minute. I don't know why. That's just how it is. But there's 4 boxes here of spares to go on, all sorts of stuff. 100, well over 100 parts. Got a small, what are the slot machine magazines? Pinball players, I think. Dear, excuse me. Shouting at those kids all morning. Dear, it's better. And stuff like that, so I'll get all that on. Yeah, so that's where we're at with new listings. Let's go back over here to here. Have we got any new wants this week? Let's have a look. I don't think we have. No, I think this is the same as last week. Yep. Forks. So have a look every now and again down the wants, see if there's anything that you're thinking of parting with. On there, don't forget as well on the spares page, if you need spares for your machines, just scroll all the way down the bottom. Whoa. There's bits people are wanting, and just click the button if you want to put want an advert on there if you're looking for something to finish a project off. I'm going to have to think about as well, again, probably over the Christmas break, about just because of the sheer volume of spares we're getting in, perhaps reorganising this page a bit better, try and make some categories. Because clearly with 200 or 300 spares on it, it's now starting to get a bit a job for people to find stuff that they're looking for. which is a good problem to have. But yeah, just to make things easier to find, really. What other machines did we have? While we're on machines, finishing next week, a pocket comb vending machine. Handy pocket combs. Not very handy for me, but you know, might be handy for you. Quite a nice Pilwin. A few early pieces, the French Orwin, the Volta and the Violetta. And then go around again, these last 5 bits that didn't go the first time around over the past month or so. We've got that video game cocktail table with 150 something games in it. A couple of Bandits, the Retriever, which I was very surprised didn't go, but there we are. And the darts machine, which everyone who's been here has said, oh, that's an impressive thing. And it got no offers at all, bizarrely. Not even like 50 quid. So there we are. For some reason nobody wanted to buy it. Just put that back up there again. Richard says, evening, are the Fun This Way signs postable? They should be postable, yeah. They're about 3 foot, I think. Yeah, 3 foot-ish. Yeah, they should be. I think Hermes and the like take up to 1 metre long, don't they? 1.2 or something. And they're obviously very thin, they're like cardboard. They're on, wherever I painted them on. I painted these, hardboard I think they're on, if I remember rightly. So yes, they should be postable, is the short answer. I don't know how much, anything I send out Hermes, it's just whatever Hermes charge plus like a pound or a couple of pounds if it's a big parcel, just to cover bubble wrap and parcel tape and labels and all that sort of stuff. So I don't profiteer from it. So it wouldn't be very much. Peter says, talking auctions, the machines just sold in Belfast made fair prices for the Slick Grand National and some very cheap R&W ice hockeys. Ah, it's interesting. Being in Belfast makes it slightly easier to get back than Southern Ireland at the moment, although I bought some big chunk of carbon in Southern Ireland earlier in the year. That wasn't too bad to get back. I thought it might be a bit of a pain, but it turned out quite easy actually. Yes, that's interesting. Better just finish my tea off before it went cold. What else do we need to know? Are there any latecomers? Do you want to have a look at that little video again of Paul's collection / the DVD thing? If so, stick a yes in the comments or something. And I'll run it again. It's only 2 minutes long, so I'm happy to do that. If you've all seen it, obviously there's not much point. You can all watch it again later on. So we'll just see if anybody wants to watch that. Give it a second or two. Peter says yes, please. Oh, there we are then. Rightio then. So I'll run this again. It's only 2 minutes, and then I shall be back shortly. Yes, David says yes. There's 2 yeses in. There we are then. That's democracy for you. Right, here we go then. So the first couple of seconds are black. So I'm going to put a title card on it or something. So don't think it's gone wrong. I'll be back shortly. Here we go. So when I was a kid growing up in the 1970s, trip to the seaside was not about the beach so much for me. It was about going to the fairground and going to the amusement arcade. I'd go in the arcade with my little bag of pennies play the machines, but more interestingly, always try and seek out the man with a big bunch of keys, follow him round, and look inside all the machines and see how they worked. And this here is the kind of stuff I used to love. So we're here in Paul Mitchell's incredible arcade. How many machines have you got here, Paul?
The last count was 33 pinball machines and the 66 slot machines.
99. Well, we need one more then in that case.
Well, I need one more, yeah? I'll find somewhere to squeeze it, yeah.
Someone can squeeze it in. So the idea is we're going to make a documentary about this amazing collection, but more than just looking at each machine, which is kind of a bit boring. We want to talk to Paul about all the years of collecting, some of the fun finding some of the machines, some of the trials and tribulations of fixing them.
All the fun.
And now there'll be a few more tales to tell. So we need your support for this. We need people to pre-order the DVD basically, because it's a time-consuming job to film, edit, put together. We're hoping it'll be done by Easter, that's the plan.
That's the plan, yeah. Big day here at Easter.
Hope we have a launch here so you can come down, collect your DVD, have a play in the arcade.
Barbecue as well.
Barbecue as well, they are. Come and get a hot sausage and have a play on the machines. So that sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, and me.
There you go. You'll notice I've even got the matching top on that has that for continuity. Anybody would think I knew what I was doing. Although I haven't got my cap on. Hey ho. So yeah, so hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea of what's there. So it's mostly sort of 60s stuff into early 70s, that kind of electromechanical era, which was pretty short actually. Lots of interesting stuff. As I said in that little video there, it's the stuff I remember playing as a kid. I kind of grew up playing, and probably most of us did actually. Although I collected my own collection's earlier stuff, 20s and 30s mostly, my own collection, this is the stuff that I played. I've kind of never collected for some reason, I don't know why. Mainly because it's electromechanical and it's a bit out of my depth to fix. But there's some great games, and it is very much in vogue at the moment. That's why I wanted to do Paul's collection first, really, because as we've seen over the past few months, really, electromechanical stuff of that era. We've had some quite fun wall machines in. A little wall mounted pusher which made 750 quid, was it, or something thereabouts. That stuff is much in demand at the moment, so it seems like a good time to give you an idea of what's out there to be found. Yeah, happy hunting if you're going to go out looking for it, because it's hard to find, very hard to find. Yeah, all good stuff. Right, so anybody need to know anything, particularly about these bits that are finishing tonight, then let me know. Have we got any new sellers tonight? I don't think there is. I think they've all sold before. But if any of you are staying up to see midnight, which is when your stuff finishes, all you need to then do, very quickly explain, is go to your selling pages after midnight, which is the little gavel, the little hammer, and at the moment your stuff will appear on this page, on the live page. It will disappear from that page. It will appear over on the Cogitate page for you to cogitate. So have the little picture of the item and the best offer we've received, like £500 or whatever the top offer is, and then 2 buttons, accept and reject. Next to the 2 buttons, you'll see the buttons are kind of faded out. They're not as bright green as this button is. They're like faded out. There's little circle buttons next to them, and it says in there, wherever it says click here or something, click the little circle. The button itself then lights up. Then you can click it to accept or reject your offer. If you accept it, it then moves over onto the sold page. If you reject it, it goes over on the unsold page, pretty self-explanatory, and we do all the rest. So you should end up with a page looking like this again, empty, with all your stuff disappeared. You know, once you've made up your mind on each thing. So the reason you have to, is a two-stage process, is because if you're using like an iPad or your phone or something, it's very easy when you're swiping pages to press a button you don't want to. And if you click accept or reject, that's it, deal done. So it's kind of like a two-stage, just to make sure that you really want to press the button. So that's why it's done like that. Any problems, just send me a message. I'll shut my phone up. He's going, what he's doing, he's twinkling at me. Yeah, I usually hang about till about 12:30, just in case anyone's got any issues with what to do. So send me a message, or give me a ring if you like, if you've got my number, and we'll sort you out. Otherwise, if you can make your mind up by tomorrow night, please, Monday night, so the sellers all know, so the buyers all know if they're bought or sold, and then we'll go from there. Then your little piggy bank here will fill up if you've sold stuff, and if you've bought stuff, it'll empty accordingly. And then, you know, if you've sold on a bank transfer, let me know your bank details. And equally, if you've bought stuff, please pay up pronto so I can pay the sellers out pronto. There we are. Simples. David said, haven't seen the elephant one for years. Oh, the elephant gift vendor. Yeah, Wales made those, didn't they? Have we got any pictures of them on here? Little whales. Treasure cave. These things. There was a big one as well, wasn't there? There's kind of a couple of sizes of them. What's the other one called? Can't remember. Treasure Trove, Treasure Chance, no, Treasure Cave. So sold a few of them. Yeah, brilliant things. I operated when I used to have the arcades, the penny arcades. Operated a few of them. They take so much money. So if you find one out in the wild, still in an arcade somewhere, there are a few about, and you try to buy them, you won't have any chance because they take so much money that no one ever wants to sell them. Great machines. I sold one once to a jeweller in Covent Garden in London. Very nice lady, and she was going to put it on her stand in the market for £5 a go. I think she said it was like little, you made like little earrings and things in it. So that's a good idea. So I don't know whether she did it or not. I sold her a machine and it went down to London, so there may well be one in Covent Garden. That was a few years back, mind you. But I never heard from her again, so who knows? But yeah, quite a fun machine. That particular one, I think, went down to the south coast. A collector on the south coast bought that one. I remember delivering it. Or was it that one? Might even have been that one. I don't think it was that one. Pretty sure it was this one. Oops. Yeah. Good machine. There's a really big version of it. And then we sold one which was it Snow White and the 8 Dwarfs or something bizarre like that, wasn't it? Let's have a look under vending machines, see if we can find it. Vendors. Animated vendors. Yeah, this one. Oh no, 6 Dwarfs, here we are. Snow White animated gift vending machine, similar to the elephant gift vendors, but in this one, 6 carved wooden dwarves put a truck through the treasure caves that come out the other side with the gift box. Presumably having 6 instead of 7 dwarves was an attempt to avoid legal action from Disney. Working order, 620 are made. I seem to think, did Robert buy that one? I think it might be up in Yorkshire in his arcade. I think Robert might have bought it. quite a nice one, quite a detailed cave in it. Big machine, bigger than the Ollie Wales one. Yeah, so that was quite good. Paul says he bought that one on the video come from a car boot sale. Of all things to find at a car boot sale, an elephant gift vendor. Oh look, I've got here that JWS made one. Didn't they make that interesting pusher? More machines by JWS. Yes, they did. There you go. Which is now in Paul's collection. Oh, that's interesting. The JWS made an elephant gift vendor. I'm guessing it's going to be Perspexy, because they like their Perspex. So that's probably quite a funky looking machine. I wonder if anyone's got one of those. So if you've got a curvaceous Perspexy elephant gift vendor, chances are it could be this JWS one we haven't got a picture of. So that'd be good to see. Oh, yeah, good machines. Dave says, really, someone was lucky. Yeah, I don't think I've ever bought anything any good at a boot sale. No, I know a few people have, but not me. Oh, well. Yeah. Must have took up someone's whole car, practically getting it to a car boot sale, thinking about it. They couldn't have had much other stock. I did, if you missed earlier in the week, I've done a couple more pages on the website as well. If you go to the cup of tea department, or cup of tea icon, which is the pages that are not really strictly buying and selling pages, so they're sort of your have a cup of tea and sit down pages, really. So there's two new pages, latest images and latest archives. So latest images is, these will usually be pictures where either something's coming for sale and I haven't got a picture already. I'm not making much sense of that because obviously anything that comes in for sale is photographed. What I mean is on the main pages in the database, so let's look at slot machines, since I'm assuming they're pretty much all slotted on again. So on any page, let's pick Oliver Wells. We were just looking at Oliver Wells, weren't we? So for example, these kind of thumbnail images, which are the main image on the top of the page. So when there's a new one of those uploaded, i.e. if we get a picture of a Chad Alwyn, for example, that will then automatically appear over here on this page, the latest images. So it's another sort of gap in the database filled in. So it's just interesting to keep an eye on if there's something new popped up now and again. There's a few here I grabbed while we were at Peter's last weekend. These were just video snaps, so there's a few machines I didn't have that I noticed as I was going around with the camera. And then the archives one is for stuff that's not photographs of machines or other stuff, whether it be fairgrounds or signs or whatever. So like advertising flyers, I've started to put a few up. To be advertising flyers, might be instruction manuals, wiring diagrams, flyers, catalogues, anything of that kind of ilk. Old photographs, by what I mean is like they're like It's a photograph of an arcade or a trade stand or something. So not a photograph of an actual machine in someone's collection. They'd go on this page, because it's a photo of something that we know exists because someone's got it, someone owns it. The archive stuff is for other stuff like that. So this will fill in. I've got quite a few to do. I've got a box full somewhere of flyers and things when I can find it. Paul said he's got a whole file of flyers which he's lost when he moved house. I know a few other people have got quite a few bits as well. So hopefully over time we can fill up and find some interesting stuff, especially when we haven't got a picture of the machine itself, even like this UFO thing, for instance. So I got a picture of the top flash because we sold it a few years ago, 2013. Didn't even know what it was of. And we found a flyer on the net somewhere of what the actual machine looked like, which is quite funky, really. It's got futuristic realism with flying saucers speeding across the skyline. Search and destroy them with a laser beam. It rotates 360 degrees. I mean, what more could you want? Sounds great, doesn't it, really? 7 foot 6.5 high, 5 foot wide, weighed 660 pounds. Yeah. Bit of a lump. Interesting thing. So yeah, if you've got any flyers, I found one of the Toto thing that we sold, that machine I'd never seen before. A few weeks back. I found a flyer for it in German, but I'm sure you could translate it if you could be bothered. So yeah, to keep an eye on those pages now and again. There might be some interesting stuff come up. And if you've got anything that we can have to fill in some gaps, then get in touch, let me know. All contributions gratefully received, as they say. There we are. Let's go back over to here. The stuff finishing off tonight. Paul said it must have been on the back of a trailer, as it had the car registration number on the bottom of the cabinet. Brilliant. How to transport your elephant gift bender. Guess you could just sort of lash some wheels to it and drag it behind your car, really, couldn't you? Hey ho, you found a good home, that's the thing. All been nicely restored. Which is what it's all about. So yeah. Any more from anyone? Anybody got any bright ideas? Or moans and groans, or found anything needs altering or tweaking or whatever? Let me know. This coming week for viewings, collectings, deliveries, etc. I'm around most of the week, I think. So just get in touch. Most days should be okay. Tomorrow's a bit busy, but I'm around. So got lots of boring paperwork stuff to do. Carrier is coming next on. I think it's got one more visit before Christmas. Let's have a look. Yes, 17th and 19th, that weekend sometime. He's here next. So if you've got stuff to be collected that you've bought or perhaps buy tonight and you want collected, you might just about get it by Christmas. Bit of luck. Bearing in mind, somebody said before, oh, you haven't got any dates for the Midlands. Alan's kind of travelling through the Midlands all the time. He's based up in Merseyside way. So if it's coming either south east or southwest, then obviously it's coming through the Midlands anyway. So that's why they're not specifically listed. It just sort of lists the extremities, basically southeast, southwest, or up north. But if you're somewhere in the middle, then you're likely to be on 2 or 3 of his routes. So just get in touch. Smaller bits I can post out to you, no problem. Anything that can be sort of gone either on the post office or Hermes. I can wrap up and post to you, not a problem, like spares or whatever. And equally, if you want to, if you've got things finishing 2 or 3 weeks apart and you want to just leave it and make up one parcel to save on the postage, that's totally fine, of course. Next weekend, I won't be around Sunday again. Should be around Saturday though. Yeah, Saturday should be okay, but I won't be around Sunday. Paul says, we're talking about the elephant machine. It was told it came from an arcade in Seawick, just down the road. Oh, right. Gosh, I haven't been there for a long time. Long, long time. Yeah. Anything else I need to tell you? I don't think so, is there? Done the usual carriage, postage, viewing days, new stuff. So keep an eye out. Monday we'll get those 3 machines listed, and then probably later in the week I'll crack on with all those spares, get them on. Then the other sections was now kind of a nice batch each of fairground stuff. There's 10 very interesting working models to go on, fairground models in boxes. Could do with the time slot on them really. All motorised. Yeah, signs and stuff, toys, etc. To crack on again for the new year and get those sections up and running with a good start. I tried before, you'll remember a few months back, the advertising section, but it really wasn't enough to get it going because there was only sort of half a dozen signs or whatever. It just wasn't enough to get the buyers interested really, so I've been just collecting stuff up as it's come in, a bit here and a bit there. And there's probably, I don't know, I might be getting on for 50 lots, probably something like that. So that should give it a good kickstart. And the same with the fairground stuff, circus stuff and toys. So those 4 sections hopefully will launch with a vengeance in the new year. And hopefully they'll take off like the slot machine bit has. Because there's always a bit of a crossover audience as well. So it should make everything a bit busier with a bit of luck. Including, no doubt, my life. But there we are. So there we are. Are we all done? Any more from any more? Anybody need to know anything? Anybody got anything to say? Questions, comments, bright ideas, aches and pains, moans and groans? If not, I'll head off and have a nice cup of tea and leave you all to tweaking your offers for all this stuff that finishes at midnight. And we'll catch up then, if not on Tuesday, with the results. That should be Tuesday as usual. Let's see how these machines do. And I might be able to get the DVD project thing launched by Tuesday night. Possibly, maybe, hopefully. Just thinking. I'll try to. So you can then crack on with that. Good Christmas present. When the other half says, what can I get you for Christmas? You can say, you can order me one of those DVDs, please. Which is more interesting than socks, isn't it, really? So yeah, there we are. So probably just about it. I think people are starting to drift off, so I shall wrap things up. Let me just type in here something. I shall put in here next live stream will be, oops, will be Tuesday, 8:05 p.m. as usual with results of tonight's sales. Yeah, I'll pop that in there. Anybody who's flicking through later on, so we'll just skim through the video, you see, and don't necessarily listen. Yeah, there we are. I suspect that's probably it. Shall we have one last spin through the little DVD thing? Could do, couldn't we? I'll do one of those, and then I'll come back in case there's any more questions, and then I'll sign off for the night. Okay, that sounds like a plan, doesn't it? All right, so here we go then. Once more round, 2 minutes. I'll be back to bid you farewell. So when I was a kid growing up in the 1970s, trip to the seaside was not about the beach so much for me. It was about going to the fairground and going to the amusement arcade. I'd go in the arcade with my little bag of pennies, play the machines, but more interestingly, always try and seek out the man with a big bunch of keys, follow him round and look inside all the machines and see how they worked. And this here is the kind of stuff I used to love. So we're here in Paul Mitchell's incredible arcade. How many machines have you got here, Paul?
The last count was 33 pinball machines and the 66 slot machines.
99. Well, we need one more then in that case.
I need one more, yeah? I'll find somewhere to squeeze it, yeah.
Someone can squeeze it in. So the idea is we're going to make a documentary about this amazing collection, but more than just looking at each machine, which is kind of a bit boring. We want to talk to Paul about all the years of collecting, some of the fun finding some of the machines, some of the trials and tribulations of fixing them.
All the fun.
And now there'll be a few more tales to tell. So we need your support for this. We need people to pre-order the DVD basically, because it's a time-consuming job to film, edit, put together. We're hoping it'll be done by Easter, that's the plan.
That's the plan, yeah. Big day here at Easter.
Hope we have a launch here so you can come down, collect your DVD, have a play in the arcade.
Barbecue as well.
Barbecue as well, they are. Come and get a hot sausage and have a play on the machines. So that sounds pretty good to me.
Yep, and me.
So there we are. So that's it for me, I think. I'll bid you all farewell. Good luck if you are buying or selling this evening. Any problems, ping us a message via the website and we'll sort it out. And I'll catch up with you all again on Tuesday night with the results. Have a good one. Nighty night.